This is all that's left of Bakhmut, a city once home to 80,000 people in eastern Ukraine. It's here that the longest battle of the Russian invasion is being fought. There are still residents hiding in the rubble of this city. 1 year into the war, Ukrainians here and across the country are still pushing back against their occupiers. In February last year, Russian President Vladimir Putin planned to take the capital, Kyiv, within 3 days. Ukraine was then looking to join the European Union and angling for a place in NATO. Red lines for the Russian president.
Но Россия не может чувствовать себя в безопасности, развиваться, существовать с постоянной угрозой, исходящей с территории современной Украины.
But Putin's forces are now bogged down in the country's east, and Ukraine's fight for freedom has become the world's battle. The international community has responded with humanitarian aid, sanctions on Russia, and weapons including heavy artillery and most recently, tanks. Taiwan, a world leader in semiconductors, halted exports of sophisticated chips to Moscow and promised $50 million to help rebuild Ukraine. Leaders of the Western world have visited the besieged capital Kyiv and met with President Volodymyrzelenskyy. Most recently, a surprise visit by US President Joe Biden.
Putin thought Ukraine was weak and the West was divided. As you know, Mr. President, I said to you in the beginning, he's counting on us not sticking together. He was counting on the inability to keep NATO united. He was counting on us not to be able to bring in others on the side of Ukraine. He thought he could outlast us. I don't think he's thinking that right now.
No matter who stands together with Kyiv, it is Ukraine's people that are suffering. The war has caused the greatest humanitarian crisis to hit Europe in decades. Putin's invasion has left 8,000 civilians dead and forced more than 8 million from their homes. A year in, and thousands of displaced people are still arriving in cities like Lviv, western Ukraine, fleeing the horrors of war in the east. Through those horrors, President Zelensky has filled the role of a strong and charismatic leader, ever championing his country's cause on the world stage and rallying his people. On the eve of the 1 year anniversary of the war, he remained steadfast.
Схід дуже важко, болісно, але робимо все, щоб вистояти. Південь. На частині напрямків ситуація доволі небезпечна, але нашим воїнам є чим і як відповідати окупанту.
Ukraine has surprised the world with its determination to defend its freedom with everything it's got. But Putin appears equally determined in his war of attrition. And if the battle rages for another year, how will any part of Ukraine remain unscathed? Glauert in Lviv, Ukraine, for TaiwanPlus.